Well, hello there, folks. How's it going today? I hope everybody's doing really good. Well, I got a nice mess on the bench here tonight. Oh boy. I basically tore the entire shop apart, going through boxes and cabinets and buckets and pails, even sandwich containers. Ham hoagie with bacon, full of vintage capacitors. I was looking for these op amps. I finally found them, so pretty happy about it. Anyway, I'm gonna put them right in the back so they don't get put in some other box or something. So, anyways, what I'm doing is pretty much just revamping the shop. I'm reorganizing. I'm not gonna go through that again. When I need something, I just can't keep digging through pails and buckets and containers. I need to really organize this better. So I've devoted a whole drawer and whatnot to just electronic parts. So I'll be able to find all this stuff when I need to. I don't want it just hanging all over the walls because I don't do this all the time. So I like to be able to kind of put it back away and, if I need to work on guitars or something. So, anyways, I thought I'd just share some of the stuff you may need if you're going to start messing around with pedals and circuits and stuff. I thought this would be an opportune time since I have everything drug out. Okay, so let's get started on this side over here. Now, the first thing you probably should get is a breadboard, okay? Now, you can get these at hobby places. You can get them online, eBay, Amazon, any of those places. Now, what you see here is actually two small breadboards, just kind of squished together, and I glued them to this piece of aluminum. And I also added a piece of angle iron here that basically just goes underneath this and comes up. I glued that to it as well. It's got holes in it so I can mount jacks and pots and that kind of stuff. Kind of like a little workbench of its own. So anyway, if you guys haven't had any breadboard experience, I'll just give you a brief description of how this works. It's basically what you'd have here is you have a positive and negative, okay? Say you hook a 9-volt battery up to this. You hook the positive to this, right in the, let's say you'd hook the positive right into this hole right here. And let's say you'd hook the negative into the one on the other side, if I can do it on camera like that, okay? So once you do that, this positive powers all these outside holes. So you can jump a wire off there and get power anywhere you want. Same with the ground, okay? Anywhere off that second row you can jump off and get ground. So let's say I wanted to power this right here. These are numbered as well. See, I'm in number 35. Increments of 5. Okay, and then you got 5 across, right? This way. So if I jumped a wire from the positive into the first hole in number 35, it will power every one of these holes going this way. So the main power goes this way. When you jump onto the board, it powers all 5 across this way. So you can plug multiple components into that one strip. That's basically it. Now, the best thing to do, I'll show you here what I did. I basically set up some components all ready to go, like some capacitors, and I soldered some wires on them, a bunch of different values, so that way I can just use them for breadboarding. I can just plug them, unhook one of them, and plug one of these in if I want. And I can do it with a guitar hanging right on me in real time and be plugged into this thing. I have an input jack and an output jack. So you hook your guitar up into the input. It's just like, let's just call this the pedal. And then you have the out going to your amp. So right in real time, you can change stuff, right on the fly and hear the difference, which is really, really fun. It's addictive, trust me. So some of the things you may want to get going is get yourself a breadboard so you can build circuits, okay? And there's different ways to power them. You can use transistors like these. This is something else you may want to pick up. Let me see if I can get it open. Okay. So as you can see, it tells you what's in every one of these squares, and there's 40 pieces in each one. Some of these are NPN and some are PNP. And that just means negative, positive, negative, or positive, negative, positive. That's what a transistor looks like. That's a 3-leg transistor. Silicone, however you like to say it. So, this is what you use in fuzz pedals and stuff. You can use them in all kinds of circuits, actually. Here's just a collection of some old stuff I must have pulled out of a piece of gear I had. I save a lot of these old parts. There's some old diodes right there. I've actually built a few pedals using those. There's a few more in there. So that's something you want to pick up. Them are cheap. Maybe $10, $12 for that whole box of transistors. They're really inexpensive. This is something else you want to get. This is a little tester, okay? You can buy these on eBay or Amazon for like $15. And how this works, you can plug in a component, the legs of any component that you have, clamp it in there, hit the button, and this will test it and tell you what it is and what the values are. I mean, you got to have a component in there, obviously, but you got to have one of these. That way, if you don't know what the component is, at least it'll tell you. It'll also tell you what the values are. So when you're building stuff, you can keep the tolerances really tight on your parts and only use parts that are up to the right specs. LEDs, again, these are really cheap, $5, $6 for a box. These got the big ones and the small ones both. Use those in pedals, just, for an on and off light. And you can also use these like, a regular diode that you use for clipping to make distortion. These are just a light emitting diode. So, really, really inexpensive to get going at first. The breadboards aren't much either. So, once you get that, you may want to buy yourself a thing full of resistors. Again, this was really cheap. I might have paid, I don't know, $10 or $15. I can't remember now. I've had these for a few years. Now, these are brand new resistors. You can see it says 270K, 100K. There's every value you'll ever need in there, okay? Those are brand new, like I said, and really inexpensive. This stuff does not cost much at all, folks. Really, it doesn't. And if you buy bulk, it's the way to do it. Now, I also keep old stuff. Now, these are some old Goodall caps, okay? Vintage. These come out of an old organ that my neighbor had in his house, and it started smoking, so he took it out of the house and stripped all the stuff out of the inside, and we stripped all the caps and tubes and everything we could get out of it, and he got rid of the rest. I think he told me it had a rotary speaker too, and he forgot about that. I think I remember him telling me he was like bummed out that he didn't get that part, but hey, it is what it is. I'm glad his house didn't burn. at the end of the day. So, yeah, you want to have some parts on hand. Look at a circuit that you might want to build. Look at the parts list and, order some parts. Now, here's some old Allen and Bradley resistors that I've stripped out of old gear and stuff over the years. These are the real deals. Old stuff, You still got to test them. That's why you need your little tester, especially if you're working with used caps or anything like that. I do use these. I mean, I've got some on a circuit right now. Them little scuba tanks. Test them. If they work, great. Those are the old polystyrene type. They seem to last quite a while. So, again, you just got to have a few basic things. I make up a thing full of wires usually. Just, old junk wires that I've stripped out of stuff and keep them, all different lengths. So that way when I'm breadboarding, I got pieces of wire and I don't have to stop and cut wire and strip the ends. Have all your stuff ready to go, Here's a tone control I've got all ready to go. I can just, plug that into the board. Boom, and I got a tone. So that's the beauty of it. It's just, it takes a little bit to get your parts all set up. And what I do is usually I'll build a circuit, if it's just on the top half, on one half of this breadboard, I may, try to mirror it down here. Or, whatever happens. If I plan on building a couple of them, I may leave one set up. And just so I can keep tweaking it too. And then build another one below it or whatever. But it's nice to have a few of each part made up. So that way, it just speeds up the process as you go. And, it just... You don't have to stop, like I said, and keep stripping wires and doing all that. Buy some foot switches, too. These ain't too bad, buy a dozen of them. It's cheaper. Mini toggles. I bought a bunch of those, too. Them are just on, off. Simple. The stuff isn't that expensive, and it's, in today's world... We all know where it's made, let's just say it. I mean, and it's all decent quality. It's going to be no different than what anyone else is using, and I haven't had any problems with it. So, there's that. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of share this, like I said. Hopefully you guys can get started on breadboarding. I am going to... do a nice slow video on this, and I'm going to breadboard a circuit for you guys right in real time sometime, and hopefully that will inspire you guys. And you can buy boxes. Here's one that I've already got set up and ready to go for this circuit, which uses the 3 LEDs for the clipping. So I'll have those there. That'll be my power on one, and then I'll have volume tone and a gain in and out and my stomp switch right there. Now you can buy those pretty cheap. I bought those on Amazon for probably $3 or $4 a piece, and I had to wait like 3 or 4 weeks to get them, of course, but if you do it ahead of time, you can get them cheaper if you want to wait. But, at the end of the day, I'm in no hurry, so I think it's good maybe just to double up when you do it. And that way, if you do get building a bunch of stuff and you forget that you're running low on boxes, then at least you'll have them and you won't have to wait a month, in case you got some pedals that need to be done right away. All right, folks, I won't hold you up anymore, and I just wanted to share this with you. I got an awful mess going here. I got junk all over that bench and here, parts strewn out everywhere, but That's what it is. I have to stop sometimes and just regroup and get everything back in order so I can function again, be efficient at least. Well, I'd like to just welcome all the new subscribers. Today has been epic. I've had just sub after sub and comment after comment. Really nice stuff, too. I really appreciate that, guys. If people just said stupid things all the time, then I probably wouldn't do it. Not that I really care, but it is nice that you guys appreciate what I do, and that kind of keeps me going. So thanks again to all the new subscribers. Even had some old faces show up in the comment section today. Old Fur Dog's back. I hadn't heard from him for a long time. Good to hear from you, buddy. Okay, we'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.